Hello book friends, I'm Allie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking through my December TBR. It's hard to believe that we are already at December, but here we are, and I have been all over the place with what I'm reading. So I'm going to have a rough list of books that I would really like to read in the month of December, and a couple that I am for sure going to read. I'm really looking forward to the winter months, and I'm looking forward to reading some cozy winter books, and also I really like reading like romance type books in the winter time, so I'm looking forward to jumping into some of those, especially after coming out of reading some thrillers and stuff in the past couple months, which I still have a couple thrillers that I'm wanting to read in the month of December, so I may still read those. I'm really excited for the month of December because this is going to be the last stint of reading that I have to see what goals I can hit by the end of the year. I am over 60 books, which was my original goal for the year, so I'm just excited to see what number I finally land at by the end of 2020, and I'm excited to set some new goals for 2021 coming up soon. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the book that I'm currently reading, and I know I'm going to carry it over into December for sure, and that is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I'm almost 50% through with this book. I'm almost halfway. So I'm looking forward to finishing this up in December. I'm really loving it, and I'm just excited to wrap it up soon. The next book I actually am carrying over from my TBR from the month of November, and I'm definitely wanting to read it before the end of the year, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And I've already talked about this one, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but I'm really excited to read it, and I'm definitely going to read it before the end of the year. Next up, I have a couple rereads, and I like to read this one every year at Christmas because it's one of my favorite books of all time. And that is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, and this is by Rachel Kahn and David Leviathan. I've already read this several times, but I'm going to read it again, especially since the Netflix show just came out, and I binge watched it, and I loved it, and I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to read this, and I'm just super excited for it because it always gets me into the Christmas spirit. But I'm also going to read the second one, which is The 12 Days of Dash and Lily, and I'm also going to read Mind the Gap, Dash and Lily, because this just came out on, I think, November 3rd, and I just got it, like, this last week. And I'm so excited to read all three books this year. I'm going to be buddy reading all three of these with my best friend, and we're going to get into the Christmas spirit by reading these and drinking hot cocoa and just having a really good time. I'm so excited for this because I love Dash and Lily's story, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the newest book. The next book is also a reread. My husband bought this for me for Christmas last year, and I ended up absolutely loving it, and I wanted to reread it again this year because I enjoyed it so much, and it's also just gets me into the Christmas spirit, and that's 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. I love the family aspects of this book, I love the Christmas vibes, and I'm just really excited to reread this one. Next up, I actually have a few of my Book of the Month books that I'm excited to read for the holidays. The first one is This Time Next Year. It's by Sophie Cousins. I'm not really sure, but I have heard that this is super cute, and it is, I think, takes place like around New Year's, so it'll be nice to end the year with this book, and I love this cover. It's just super cute. So I'm excited for this one. I'm also excited to read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and I want to read The Guest List. It's been on my radar for a little while, but I haven't read it yet, but I've heard that it's really good, and then this one just recently came out, and this one takes place right around Christmas, and it sounds really creepy and interesting, so I'm excited to check this one out. And then because I am in the mood for more romantic rom-com type books, I am picking up Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I've also heard that this one is super cute, and you know, after you get tired of the cold months after a little while, it might be nice to read something that reminds you of the warm and the beach and a sweet romance. I think that that's, well, I think that it's that they don't get along at first, and then they fall for each other. I believe that's how this one plays out. But anyway, I'm excited to read it nonetheless. And lastly, I had 3 books on my November TBR that I didn't get to, and I really want to finish them by the end of the year. If I don't, it's not a big deal, but I really want to. So I'm going to put them on this TBR, and hopefully I'm going to get to them. I'm really excited to read all 3 of these books, so I'm going to do my best to make time to make sure that I actually do get them. And the first one is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. I've already talked about this one. I'm not going to talk about it again. The second one is Chocolat by Joanne Harris. And third is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. And as always, these books were my TBR for November, and so if I am able to get to these, then I might pick up 1 or 2. I don't know. I may have a month where I just binge read. Who knows? I didn't have so much of that going on in November. I started out strong and then I kind of slacked off, but you'll have that sometimes. And then I also have all of these Book of the Month books that I'm excited to read, and so I might be in the mood for one of these one day and just decide to pick one up and go with it. We'll kind of see what happens. I am a bit of a mood reader, so I just read what I'm feeling. That's why I usually make myself a very large TBR. But there are a few that I definitely want to finish before the end of the year, and so hopefully I'll be able to get to those. I'm really looking forward to just seeing how much I can get before the end of the year. So these are all of the books that I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year. A few are a bit more high priority than others, but I have high hopes that, some of these are fairly thin. Majority of them, I believe, are like under 300 pages. I know that I've got a couple that are over 300 pages for sure, but still, I feel like it's not so bad that I couldn't manage to get at least some of them. Who knows? I'm excited to see what the reading month holds for me. And if you have read some of these, or if you're going to read some of these, drop me a comment down below and let's chat about it. Let me know what you're reading for the end of the year. I'm curious to know what your goals are. If you've got a high priority book, I would love to hear about it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.